What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing here, back with another video, and in today's video guys, we're going to be discussing the Light and Darkness Hero Selector box and which character you guys should be picking on your account. For you guys that don't know, man, you are going to be able to select one of these 8 characters here in this hero selection of the Light and Dark festival characters that we've had in Grand Cross for the past like 3 years now. So it goes from Traitor Meliodas all the way to Queen Elizabeth, and what we're going to be doing in today's video is going over every single character and letting you guys know whether or not it's going to be worth picking that character and what circumstance you might be in if you want to be able to pick that character as well. Before we actually hop into the hero selection list, guys, here's a word from our sponsor. Think you know your Marvel heroes? How about you really know their stories? If you're curious, dive into the epic journeys with our sponsor, Marvel Strike Force. Marvel Strike Force is a dynamic squad-based RPG that brings the Marvel universe to life, where players assemble powerful teams of Marvel heroes and villains to battle iconic enemies in epic combat with endless team combinations and strategic gameplay. As someone who enjoys turn-based combat, I think you guys will love this game, and I definitely recommend giving it a try. Make sure to use my link in the description or scan my QR code to get a ton of characters this month completely for free. Alright, so let's talk about what you can expect from Marvel Strike Force and how you can progress your account fast. Your goal is to power up your favorite characters to complete missions, unlock gear and other resources, and to beat other players in PvP combat with modes such as Alliance, War, and Arena. You can recruit a ton of heroes and villains across the multiverse, including some of your fan favorites such as Iron Man, Wolverine, and Venom. And as a new player starting Marvel Strike Force, you can unlock up to 17 total free characters within the first 30 days, including Spider-Man, Deadpool, Thor, and Captain America, just to name a few. New characters are constantly being released, and this month be on the lookout for the highly anticipated Starjammers team, consisting of Lilandra, Havok, Howard the Duck, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot. And you can unlock characters and costumes from the Marvel movies, TV shows, comics, and much more. But that's not all. Marvel Strike Force is celebrating its 7th year anniversary, and for a limited time only, use the promo code 7 to unlock the Nightcrawler and Cyclops for free, and don't miss out on this limited time celebration to kickstart your journey with these 2 powerful mutants. Thank you again to Marvel Strike Force for sponsoring this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys there. Starting off with Traitor Meliodas here, guys. Traitor Meliodas is a really good character in Grand Cross to this day. He is still insanely strong in a bunch of PvE content, and I think that this character would be a good pick if not for the fact that he was already given out for free for a bunch of brand new players. If you're a new player on Grand Cross, Traitor Meliodas is actually given out to you in, I think it's the starter rush banner, if I'm not mistaken. It's either that or the login bonus, but I know pretty much every person on the game is gonna have access to this character, so you do not really need to be picking Traitor Meliodas in my opinion, even though I do think that he is a great character. He is going to be pretty much useful on all content in the game. The only thing that I would say Traitor Meliodas is just really not good in is pretty much PvP at the moment. In PvE content though, if we're talking any PvE related content, he's going to be steamrolling through all of that, and he's even usable on the latest, most difficult content in the game, being the Ratatoskr Demonic Beast or even the Demon King battle fight. Both of the fights he is actually very, very good in, and is just a strong character overall. But again, guys, because you get Traitor Meliodas for free already, there's really no reason to actually pick this character in my opinion, unless you really want to get a dupe or you already have all the other characters and you're thinking, okay, maybe you're at like 5 out of 6 on this character and you're like, oh, maybe I get the 6 out of 6, then that might not be a bad idea either. But overall, you really do not need to dupe this character. He's completely fine at 1 out of 6, and I don't necessarily think you guys want to waste your selector on this character, but he is a very, very good character at that. Alrighty guys, so moving on now to Light Elizabeth. I think this character is going to be probably the hardest skip of the box for every character that's available, honestly. Definitely the worst one of all the characters that are available. And the reason why I say this right now, guys, is because Light Elizabeth right now is pretty much just a worse version of LR Elizabeth. And LR Elizabeth was given out for free during the New Year's celebration, right? She was one of the characters that was given out for free, and she is just a way better version of this character. Light Elizabeth was solid back in the day. She was mainly there to give a bunch of basic stats for the entire team, and that was obviously very good. But nowadays we have LR Liz, where she's able to give us a ton of healing and then also giving us a ton of basic stats and attack related stats. So when this character initially did release, she was very good, but nowadays I just don't see any reason for you to really be picking this character. And so yeah, no, I'm gonna say that this character is a easy skip on the box. Do not pick Light Elizabeth here, guys. She's just not gonna be worth it on your account. Moving on, guys, to Light Ultimate Escanor. Now, Light Ultimate Escanor is a very good unit still to this day. Mainly the same kind of situation as like Traitor Meliodas, where he's still really good in PvE content, but you can't really use this character in PvP nowadays. But he's still very, very good, and you know, a lot of the things in his kit is still viable in a ton of PvE. You know, when we talk about, you know, like speedrunning PvE content with like demonic bees, you know, this Ultimate Escanor is viable in that. He has a single target that does additional damage equal to 30% of the final damage, which allows you to combo that with Roxy and bypass a ton of damage cap content in, you know, specifically like demonic beasts, you know, related stuff, guys. So yeah, Ultimate Escanor is really, really good for that. Overall, I mean, other than that though, you're not going to get too much use out of this character other than maybe like speed farming demonic beasts. If you already have the UR green Ultimate Escanor, I see no reason to really pick this character. But if you do not have that character and you want to, you know, maybe get a character to kind of help you out with speed running with like a human team variant, then he's still a very good option. And yeah, I mean, to this day is still super strong in PvE content. Another thing to mention too about Ultimate Escanor as well, guys, is that this character is due for a Holy Relic. You know, he is still waiting on getting a Holy Relic, and once he does get one, I mean, he's gonna be absolutely insane again. So the moment he gets a relic, that's gonna be something that you might want to think about too for the future, right? If this character does get a Holy Relic, just having the character to be able to you know, actually get that relic for him could be really good in the future, man. You know, again, we do not know for a fact if he's gonna be getting one anytime soon, but he is due for one, so we'll definitely have to see, you know, exactly what's gonna happen with you know, Ultimate Escanor and if he does get one in the future or not. Now, moving on to Purgatory Meliodas, guys. I think Purgatory Meliodas nowadays is really just not worth picking up, especially on this, you know, Selector ticket. The reason why I say this, guys, is because Purgatory Meliodas was pretty much tailor-made for PvP when he came out. And at the moment, we have a Meli Ellie unit, which is just far and away better than this character. So I really don't see any reason at the moment to really go for Purgatory Meliodas. He's still fairly solid in like PvE content, but I'd still say Traitor Meli is better. And I think Purgatory Meli right now has kind of lost his place in the game. He doesn't really have anything where he's like super, you know, at standing in, unless it was like, you know, demons back in the day. But yeah, I mean, when he came out, he was really good. But once we got Demon King Meliodas and now Meli Ellie, this character is, you know, kind of outdated at this point and is not really going to be that crazy. The only, like, kind of use case I would see for Purgatory Meliodas right now is probably maybe, like, Heroes Arena. That's like the only like time I think you could really use this character. Yeah, and then I mean, again, it's kind of the same thing with Ultimate Escanor. This character is due for a Holy Relic as well, so you know, if he does get one in the future, I mean, that could be good. You know, it could actually make this character one of the stronger Meliodas in the game. I mean, look at Assault Meli when he got his relic. He was pretty strong on his relic as well. So you know, this character could definitely get a major buff, and if they want to go with the, like, you know, pushing the demon team kind of setup, then yeah, I mean, that relic could be really good in the future. You know, we'll have to see. But at the moment, guys, I would definitely say that this character is a fairly easy skip on this box. I just don't see the reason right now to be able to pick Purgatory Meliodas. Moving on, guys, to Transcendent Ban. Transcendent Ban nowadays is not that crazy anymore, especially for the teams that you would run him on, you know, being either the 7 Deadly Sins team, the Fairy team, or even the Human team. At the moment, Transcendent Ban is not good for those teams anymore in PvP. In PvE content, you don't really get much use out of him either because he was mainly kind of tailor-made for PvP. Another thing to take into account about this character too is that, you know, he is solid in Heroes Arena. It's kind of the similar thing to Purgatory Meli, but I feel like you don't need this character anymore to be successful. You know, he's really not that, you know, as important as he used to be. And so I honestly, I'm going to say you probably want to skip out on this character. You know, again, it's another thing with Purgatory Meli and Ultimate Escanor that this character is due for a Holy Relic. In the future, he could get a lot better. They could buff him up a ton with the Holy Relic, and they could make him a strong character back on the Human team, or, you know, the Fairy team or the Sins team. He could be back again with that Holy Relic. You know, the moment he gets that could definitely bring him back. So that's kind of something to definitely think about. But again, guys, right at the moment, Transcendent Ban's not really going to be a priority in my opinion, and I would say you probably want to skip out on this character. Now, moving on to the Tyrant Demon King here, guys. Tyrant Demon King, in my opinion, is going to be one of the better picks from this Hero Selector box. And the reason I say this is because Tyrant Demon King right now in the PvP meta is actually a viable character right now in the game. You know, especially with the release of his brand new Holy Relic, which allows him to be able to have attack related stats before he has the damage cap. That's going to be something that you can really take advantage of. And Tyrant Demon King having the damage cap for the first 2 turns and then getting the all stats boost and being able to still, you know, infect the enemies. He has really strong damage on a single target. This character is just super strong, and you know, him getting that relic really did boost him up. That's why I'm saying though that, like, you know, when Ultimate Escanor, Purgatory Meliodas, and Transcendent Ban get theirs, you know, it could be a different story. But again, with what we have right now in the game, guys, Tyrant Demon King is a meta character, viable in PvP, viable in PvE, very good character across the board. Even without his holy relic, he's still solid in PvE content. PvP is a little bit not as good without the holy relic, but still a viable character at that. And so yeah, I mean, I would say at the moment, Tyrant Demon King gotta be one of the higher priority characters from this box. And I would say if you do not have this character already, definitely make sure to pick him from this hero selector box. Now moving on to the Queen Hel here, guys. So this is one of the original characters from what is it, Ragnarok. And Hel right now, I would say in the game is not really that crazy. She did get a holy relic already, and even after that holy relic right now, I just don't see her being used in unknown PvP team comps at the moment. She was mainly used when teams had a bunch of damage cap type characters, and it was in a kind of meta where, you know, characters like Demon King were very prevalent. Right now, I wouldn't say Demon King is as prevalent as he was back in the day. Again, as I mentioned, though, he's still a viable character, but it doesn't warrant you running Queen Hel to just kind of counter Demon King. You're still gonna see, you know, goddess teams. You're still gonna see a bunch of unknown teams without Queen Hel, where you're running, you know, the new Lolly Merlin and even Milim and stuff. So right now, guys, I wouldn't say Hel is gonna be a priority in my opinion. I just don't see her getting much use, and even in PvE content, she's really not that good in there either. The only like kind of redeeming quality she has, I guess, is Heroes Arena. But even then, at this point in the game, I'm probably not running Queen Hel on Heroes Arena. It would really only be for like a going second strategy, and at this point in the game, guys, there's really no reason to do going second strats on Challenger nowadays. I would always just recommend to people to just do Masters anyway, so there's no reason that I'm gonna recommend Queen Hel for you guys unless you don't have the character. If you do not have the character, that's something that I would say would be your priority over everything else though. So if you did miss out on this character in the past and you just want to kind of get one copy of the character, then that's not a bad idea either. But other than that scenario though, guys, I would say definitely skip out on Queen Hel. Now, moving on to the final character of the hero selection list, guys, we got Queen Elizabeth. Now, Queen Elizabeth is in a situation in the game right now very similar to Purg Meli and Traitor Meli in a sense, I guess, as well, because of the fact that we have Melieli in the game, right? Melieli is a super dominant character in the game right now. There is really no reason to run Queen Elizabeth, even on her, you know, best team being Goddess team. You know, on 7 Deadly Sins team, you don't really run Queen Elizabeth anyways. And I think right now in the game, there's just kind of not much use for her, right? Because you're not going to be using her in PvE. That's going to be LR Liz, and in PvP you're using Melieli already, so she's really kind of left to the, you know, the back burner, man. You're really not going to be using this character. You'd mainly want to go for Transcendent Ban all the way to Queen Liz in terms of characters you are missing, guys, because I feel like Purg Meli, Ultimate Escanor, Light Elizabeth, and Traitor Meli, those are characters you're going to get on your account over time anyway. They're going to be given for free again in the future. You know, I think Ultimate Escanor and Purg Meli are in the coin shop at the moment as well, so there's really no reason, if you don't own these characters, to pick them. I would say if you're missing any of these four right here, then I would say actually go in and at least get the one copy of the character. But then again, you know, talking about Queen Elizabeth again, I just don't see her being that crazy at the moment, and in my opinion, I think she's gonna be a skip on the box. Alright guys, so just to wrap up at the end of the video here, the best character that you can pick from the hero selection list, in my opinion, is gonna be Tyrant Demon King. You know, again, as I mentioned, he's really good across all content in the game, PvP, PvE. He was never given out for free in the past. Very dominant character, especially with the release of his holy relic. In my opinion, guys, this is gonna be your #1 option that you want to be picking. After Demon King right there, it's really a toss-up between characters you're missing at that point. So either Transcendent Ban, Hel, or Queen Liz. If you're missing any of those three characters, just kind of pick the one that you really like the most. And then other than that, at that point, guys, if you have every single character one copy already, at that point it's just you pick the character that you want to dupe up as well. If we're talking about the character with the best dupes that you could get, I would probably say it goes to either Queen Liz or Transcendent Ban. Both of them having ultimates that really do scale on dupes, and Transcendent Ban, you know, having the fact that for every buff, debuff, you know, stance that the enemy has, he does even more damage, whereas Queen Liz has the longer duration of her revive. So if you wanted to go dupe wise for one of these characters, I would say definitely thinking Transcendent Ban and then Queen Liz, because of the fact that Transcendent Ban could get a holy relic and actually be relevant again. again. Whereas I feel like, you know, Queen Liz right now, even if she does, you know, get some kind of resurgence in the future, it would have to be like only what, like an LR. Like there's no other way I'd see her getting that much use again. And even a 6/6 Queen Liz is just not going to be better than a Meliodas, guys. I'm gonna be honest, you know, there's really no reason to use Queen Liz even with the higher dukes. So that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know in the comment section below which character you guys are going to be picking from the hero selection list. And that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. And I'm going to see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.